Uh, Sue and I have been running alongside each other for a long time. She is part of our organization, one of our national marketing director team. So maybe you can share your story with them, and then we're going to talk about the holiday season and, just, how we can be of service and help and inspiration and just bring good things to people. So Sue, tell
Okay.
me.
Thanks for the invitation, Cheryl. It's always nice to be on this call. This is my second favorite call now. On Monday night, I was always told to be on the Monday night call, and I always tell people that I'm on it unless I'm on an airplane. And of course, now we're not on airplanes anymore, so I'm on the Monday night call. But the Thursday call is so wonderful because of the stories, 4 or 5 different stories. It's, just fabulous. So my story begins about 18 and a half years ago. I had met Andrea Mather-Stowe by happenstance. I used to think, now I know it was for a reason, because my life completely changed then. And she and I were having lunch in July 18 years ago, so 18 and a half years ago. And she told me she had found this stuff that was like broccoli in a capsule. And at the time I was buying broccoli, throwing it in the trash when it got moldy. I knew I was supposed to do something for my health, but nothing happened. And so she told me about that, and I said, I want that right away. And at the time I was a health insurance salesperson who knew nothing about health insurance. And so I joined the business too. I thought, why not? And I didn't know anything about the research, nothing about the business. I mean, really nothing. I just believed what Andrea had told me. And it really has changed my life. I haven't had pneumonia in probably 18 years. My husband, Greg, who I had just met at the same time that I had met Andrea, and he doesn't have allergies anymore. He was taking every over-the-counter medication that there was. So some of the people that spoke earlier talked about the help that you get with this company, and it's just amazing, absolutely amazing. And I have to show this gratitude book, which is what Cheryl had told us many times to read. I love this book, and I really think that my business is based on gratitude, thanking my sideline people, my upline, my customers. I mean, I sit down every once in a while and just go through my customer list and Greg's customer list and just say thank you to people. Just not asking them to do anything, but just say thank you for taking Juice Plus. So it's been a life changer for sure.
And I love it because we hear this, over and over, how we've made a difference for people, but that's where the emotional revenue comes from. The good feeling. I think the emotional revenue is certainly as powerful, if not more so, than the financial revenue, even though we're extremely well paid at what we do. And it's also, if we talk about gratitude and being thankful, certainly this is a time of year too, when people really, normally we come together in groups at Christmas time, but it's like, we're not going to be able to do that. But at the same time, I wanted us just to talk a little bit about how we can, not only from a business standpoint, lay a foundation for next year as far as momentum is concerned, but how we can really be of service at a time like this. And I think that we are the people who can. I've said this often now in this situation over, and it's going to be, here we are, it started in March, it'll be a year before long. And then it'll probably stretch even past that. So how can we be of service? There's been a lot written even before this pandemic started about loneliness and how that's an epidemic in itself. And that has brought a lot of stress and really sadness to people as people become more and more isolated, even before we were forced to be isolated. So maybe we can talk just a little bit about, what are the tips that you might have or that I might have for people during the holidays as far as giving the gift of good health. As I listened tonight to, Drew and Lon and, all of you who spoke, again, I'll say it again. And for myself, if I look at what the product has done for me, you can look at people and not know the difficulty. I mean, they're beautiful and, look like they're the picture of health. And yet so many struggles. I know for myself, when I started this, I had suffered for years with fibromyalgia and in so much pain, but nobody knew that. And I didn't say anything about it. Doctors didn't seem to know or have the slightest idea what to do about it. So you just quit talking about it and lived with it because that was all you could do. And then this totally changed my life from a health standpoint. And we're 30 years down the road, and I'm healthier today than I was, when I started this by far. Much, much healthier in so many ways. And so if we talk about a gift, I mean, it's like it's not just a gift, it's like a miracle. And that happens for people over and over. So if we're talking about the holidays here and now reaching out to people, Sue, any thoughts on that? And then we'll go from there. Okay.
I think that one of the most important things about being on these calls is to hear other people's stories, not so you can repeat their stories, but just so you will have the confidence when you're talking to people that these amazing things happen to everybody that takes Juice Plus. I mean, sometimes it's really an amazing story, and sometimes it's a more subtle story over a period of time. But it's always something, because Juice Plus gets in us and your body knows what to do with raw fruits and vegetables. So I think it's important to know that not everybody, what I always say is not everybody is as smart as we are, but everybody deserves to know about Juice Plus. That's Maura Daniels' commentary. Everybody deserves to know about Juice Plus, and the choice is theirs. So over the years, you pick up these little things that everybody says, but I think as you talk to people, just ask permission. I would love to send you a video. If I do, would you watch it? And when I text people, or when I am wanting to talk to somebody, I always text them and say, this is Sue Lockridge. Do you have 5 minutes? I'd love to call you. I don't like to text people back and forth, but sometimes people don't even answer me. But sometimes I have 3 people that have said, yes, you can call. And I'll say, well, wait a few minutes. But I think it's just important to offer that information up and know that not everyone is going to say yes, and to just keep on going and get to be a qualified sales coordinator. That's the level that we need to be at to be able to have the largest impact in the world. And then just find more team, because we can't do this alone. We have to do this together. This is a group effort. And like whoever it said that nobody in Alabama knows about Juice Plus. When we moved to Phoenix, hardly anybody I talked to knew about Juice Plus. Hardly anybody. It's just incredible. What do they say? We have 3 or 4% of the people in the United States know.
I don't even think we have 3 or 4% at this point, and we're a $1 billion company. I mean, when my grandson was born, and it's been 9 years now, I'm from Louisiana, but I live in Los Angeles because grandbabies rule. So I came here and I stayed. But I still today, everybody that I talk to, they don't know about it. So that being 2%, 3% of the population that are on Juice Plus, that's a huge number in one sense, but it's a very small number if you look at the people waiting to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what you said too about, the fact that the stories really give you confidence. I love this because it triggers like, I should talk to so-and-so, or it energizes me again about, I really have to tell more people, because you don't really know how, it's going to totally change someone's life. What has always amazed me about Juice Plus is that whatever the body needs, it goes to whatever the body needs, which means that it has to be that the body has the wisdom to take care of itself if it's given the right input. And to be able to get this concentrated form is just so important. But also talking about, really the foundation of our business, and what I hear Sue saying that was so important is that consistency of effort, consistency of telling the story, consistency of bringing people to this call or the Monday night call, so that they can hear that reinforcement over and over. These calls have been put in place over the years because I wanted the reinforcement. I wanted to hear it often. I wanted to be re-energized, recharged, revitalized.
Share.
Like Sue said also, is that, there are going to be people who have what look like totally amazing results, but they're also going to be, all of us are having results whether we feel it or not. And I still am tickled over Evan, who said, he was a little surprised, sleep better, but just think of the level of health. I started this product, I shouldn't say this out loud because you're really going to date me, but I just turned 50 years old. And so, the level of health between then and now is just immense compared to the years before. And who would have thought? So if you're looking at a gift, to give the gift of good health at this time of the year, there could be nothing greater. And people are so awake right now to the need to really protect their bodies. I don't think we've ever been in a situation, well, I know we've never been in a situation where this many people, this concern, there were so many things, the health of their bodies, how they're going to, take care of themselves financially, and we have those things in place. So, Sue also mentioned qualification and being qualified in your business. The first step, of course, is to really get yourself to that sales coordinator position, which is our top commission position. That's not a hard thing to do, okay? And then from there, of course, you grow up into top leadership to national marketing director. But if you look at where we really work in our business, it's from start as partner to sales coordinator. So that's partner to partner plus to qualifying sales coordinator to sales coordinator. And then make sure once you get to qualifying sales coordinator, you're really working at qualification. So Sue, did you want to mention something on that? Because I know you mentioned that earlier as well.
I don't know. I don't remember what I said.
Well, we were just talking about the power of being qualified.
Oh, yes, that your business just grows and you get paid down 5 generations of qualifiers, which is very different than most other businesses. Most businesses pay you 2 or 3 levels down, or maybe even 5 levels down, but every person counts. And for our business, if you are counting down, you have to count a qualifier. And if there's people between you and a qualifier, you still get paid for those people. But it's the first qualifier that counts as number 1. So I've heard many people say over the years, I mean, I got in the business without any knowledge of any of this, but I've learned and learned and learned. But other people looked at the marketing plan when they were first invited into the business and saw how amazing that was, and that you can be paid for the rest of your life for an order that you take today. That's
Right.
pretty incredible.
And I have customers that I've had now for 20 something years.
Right.
That many people will become team members, but because they love the product and they want to share it with others. Many people will become team members again. I'm going to go back to Evan, who recognized the business from the very get-go. I was one of those people that started out of you come from either inspiration or desperation. It was a position of desperation because I was in serious financial need, but I didn't realize what this was the potential it had. I was looking at that smaller picture, and I guess that's what tonight, I'm really inviting you to continue to always investigate and learn how our business works. It's one certainly that whether you understand that pay plan or not, they're going to pay you anyway for sharing the story and for sharing the business and inviting people to partner with you. But as you grow, really learning that plan will be very, very important, really getting really comfortable in it. Just, as I said, I thought they were trying to get me to speak a foreign language in the beginning. It becomes second nature to you. So let's talk a little bit about qualification here as we, end, because 2 things tonight, or 3. One is that the story is the foundation. The stories we hear, it invokes emotion. Emotion is the feeling that, we connect to each other. People connect to feeling before they do words or facts or all the background. You can talk about everything from where the product's grown to the research to how the marketing plan works to the growth to national marketing director. All of those things are that's powerful information. But that's not what people connect to first. They connect to the feeling, to the emotion. So the stories are the foundation. Collect stories, listen to stories. As Sue said, gives you that confidence for you to continue to tell your story. And your story is really not about you. It's about the person that hears it and how it's going to change their life. But then from a business standpoint, own the product, tell the story, invite people to partner, and then get yourself to that sales coordinator position. You're a partner. Your first step is qualifying sales coordinator, and then look at becoming qualified. So let's talk about qualified just a minute, because that lets you access this pay plan at the highest level always. And you're truly not in business until you're in a position to be qualified and teach other people qualification. So this now puts you in a position where you can have unlimited income, and you want to take full advantage of the pay plan, and you can when you're qualified. So if there are three really important steps, it's first of all, you want to go really, really wide in this plan with inviting people to partner with you, very wide. We have infinity width here. The company doesn't limit us. Many companies limit you. Our company does not limit you. So you can go wide forever and you want to. Once you're wide, you help those people work deep and you stay qualified. So we're going to say the three main things to grow a business that stretches across the world. I was just trying to make ends meet when I started. A teacher's salary was not going to send my children to college, and it would not keep us above struggle in Louisiana. This was going to be something extra, and it turned into a multi-million-dollar business. Today, as an organization, we do millions and millions of dollars every month in product sales, just our teams, you all. I mean, so how powerful is that? And you can grow into top position and have the same benefits of any CEO anywhere. So again, first goal, sales coordinator. First step, qualifying sales coordinator. And once you become a qualifying sales coordinator, the main thought is to become qualified. Qualification is the foundation of your business, and it's the standard by which we do our business. So your income is a direct result of how consistently you qualify on a monthly basis and how well you teach others in your organization to do the same. We actually have a bit of a formula that the number of qualifiers that you have really dictates the amount of your check. Once I figured that out, I realized that all I had to do was help people qualify, get to that $1,800 a month in production, and they became what we refer to today as a club member. So a qualifier is a club member, and those clubs represent your income. The other thing I love about this business, and I want to underscore it right here, is that no one can make money by themselves. People only make money if somebody else makes money. I love that. How many jobs or professions do people have where if they do well, someone else has to do well also? And I think this is a beautiful part of it. So let's talk about, how do you qualify? Once you become a qualifying sales coordinator, you now are entitled to 3% from all those people that grow in your team beneath you. Now that doesn't sound like a whole lot, 3%, but actually, as time goes on, it will become the largest part of your check. At this point, it's probably 98% of my check, and there is no limit to the growth. So a qualified business is acquiring $1,800 in volume. That's $1,800 done between you and your customers. So it's your order. And so there are really 4 areas. If you want to make notes on that, or you can certainly go to your virtual office and read this in the print, but let's talk about it so that we, because there's a lot in the virtual office in the Freedom Revolution. So there are 4 areas. A qualified business is acquiring 1,800 points or dollars. We're paid on dollars, which makes it a lot easier to understand and to talk about. And it's in your own personal business. So what does your personal business represent? That's your personal orders, first of all. So that's you. It could be the people in your household, your family, your personal orders, your preferred customer orders, your distributors that are at partner positions. So they're new team members, your new team members, and your team members that are partner plus. So if you think about it, you're talking about it as personal business, but it's you and that initial team that you're putting together. So it's you, your customers, your partners, and your partner plus, all together creating $1,800 in production. Now, once that happens, you're considered a club member, and anyone beneath you who does that is considered a club member. So my goal always has been to keep that pool full, that new customer, new team member, keep that pool full all the time, because then that's, of course, where your qualification comes from, but it's also where you go fishing for those people who are going to grow up in your business. So being qualified is a huge thing, because now you're not going to leave any money on the table. If you're not qualified, the business that you have that 3% would be paid on floats up line. That floats to the next person above. I really don't want to get my distributors money. I want them to all be paid, because we're going to be paid 5 generations deep. So you want everybody to understand qualifications so that they're not leaving any money on the table. They're maximizing their income from their effort, and it doesn't float up. The company never captures it, that's amazing, because many companies will capture that. It won't float up. The distributors, the team members or partners are always paid, but you want to make sure that yourself and that new person is qualified, and they're teaching their new people to qualify, because that's truly when you're in business. So again, keeping that pool full. So I really look at my business as if it's 3 pools and I'm going fishing all the time. So the first pool is my new pool, the new people, my own orders, my customers' orders, my new partners, and my partner plus. Now you could have qualification by having 20, if we take an example, if you had 24 tri-pack customers, 24 trio customers, just using that as an example, that would be a qualified business. It would equate to 1,800. But why do it all by yourself? Okay. If you've got people coming in who also, are working toward growing their position, and that continually happens, then that's that insurance to stay qualified as well. So I like the mixture personally myself, because I love developing team, and this gives me that foundation to do that. At any rate, this qualification, I think, is so important, and we're probably just about out of time here. But if you can really incorporate this as your pattern of development, if I look at my business, and you heard Sue mention, consistency, consistency over time of your business taking on a rhythm of activity, and that rhythm being the same over and over, that pattern of development. It's you're always encouraging people. They get started, first goal, sales coordinator, first step, qualifying sales coordinator, and become qualified at that point. So you want to achieve that qualified position and teach others to do it as soon as possible, because you want to be a model. You're going to model what other people are going to do, and they're going to do what you do. And you want to teach them to do the same so that they can teach others. That teaching to teach is really what empowers the organization. It empowers and allows you to access the unlimited income potential that's available. And if you think about, our business, and we're so blessed. I mean, I was talking to Paulo, who's our company CEO, just this week, and how blessed we are in a time that is so unusual and so uncertain that we have stable and strong business. I mean, we will do more business this year by the end of the year and we were talking about that, than we've ever done in the history of our company, and we're 50 years old. And our product is nearly 30 years old, but it's so basic, and it's so powerful because it is so basic and it is so effective, that we're in a wonderful position to make a difference for other people and to help other people. And if you think about it, we're recession proof, we're disaster proof. Katrina came through Louisiana and took my house, and yet it didn't bother my business many years ago. So we're weatherproof. So we almost have I guess I would say, a security that is hard to come by in most professions. And we do well in good times, and we do well in times that are challenging. So we're in a very unique position, and I think it's really a moral obligation to share it with other people, and a tremendous gift to give people, because really what you give people is hope. And that's what we share with others. And Sue mentioned the gratitude book, and we're gonna close with that here. But Sue, what is it in that book that you like the best? Just I
my
asked you to come on with me as my national marketing director to be interviewed tonight, and we didn't even pre-plan. So all of these questions are right off the top of my head. But what is it you love best about that book?
Well, it makes you realize that whatever happens to you, you can look at it in a different way and find a reason to be grateful about it. There's just, I mean, anybody who hasn't read this book needs to get their hands on it. And I mean, we pick it up, Greg and I both read it. We pick it up every once in a while. And it's just a reminder that we do have so much to be grateful for in this business, especially now. I mean, we always have had, but especially now with this uncertainty in the world. And it's,
Yeah.
I can't begin to talk about it.
And the name of it is just Gratitude, A Way of Life by Louise Hay.
Louise Hay, yep.
And I love it because it gives you a little instruction. And I came across it actually in a bookstore in London in 1992. I have owned many copies of it, because what happens is I keep it close. The copy I'm reading right now, the cover's gone and the pages are all curled. Okay, because really it's kind of like my foundation of keeping myself in a positive state. And this is huge. If we think about, and again, we're going to go back to that statistic of loneliness. I heard Jay Martin say many years ago when we first started, working with just the whole idea of computers and digital. And he said, but still the day will come when we'll be the social life for people, because we bring, just a level of happiness, I guess you would say, with what we have to offer.
Yes.
If you've ever had a time where there was a calling to reach out and touch someone, either on Zoom, on the phone, with a note, this right now will make a huge difference. And Sue mentioned that just writing to her customers, not with anything in mind other than in appreciation, and letting people know, whether they're in your customer base, your business, whether they're partners or they're just people in your life, how much you appreciate them, care about them, think about them. And, we're all at home. Let's really stretch out and make that difference. And in doing so, and again, this gratitude book I love, because one of the first things it says is that the universe loves that good feeling. And when you're constantly putting out that feeling of gratitude, happiness, reaching out to people, it's almost like that's what comes back. And
Yes.
what I have found, that book's brought me more happiness than anything else I can think of if I do it consistently, because what it recommends is that when you first wake up and when you first go to sleep at night, the first thing you do is you're thankful for, from the greatest to the smallest, everything you have. The bed was comfortable. I slept well all night, to we're all healthy. My children are healthy. We're all good. Everything's fine. That really keeps you in a state of positive thought, which is foundational to our business as well. So it's not just for your own personal happiness, it's what you'll have and the energy you'll have and the type of energy that people will feel from you that's going to make a difference as far as their lives. And it may not be the person who buys from you or the person who becomes your team member, but if we can work at making a difference for everybody, I have found that if you keep other people's best interests at heart, the money follows you home. It happens because people are going to want to be part of that feeling. They're going to want to have the uh, what the product brings. They're going to want to be part of the community. It just happens. So Sue, yeah, thank you so much for sharing with me.
Thank
And
you. Thank you. Great to see you again.
you too.
And thanks to all the speakers. Those were wonderful stories tonight. Wonderful.
Enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all this evening. We're just a little bit over, but I really want to encourage you. Every month we have what we call Take Action Tuesday. Last month we heard Dr. Du Bois and our own company president, Jay Martin. This coming Tuesday night, this will be a special event. We will have Dr. Tamara Sachs, who is going to give you some amazing information. Not only from a product standpoint, but again, we'll be talking about the way you think and how that physiologically makes a difference in the research around that. There'll be some good business tips as well. But Jeff Roberti and I, we will close it out with recognition and awards. This would have been our 25th year for our Gimme Awards, and where we do our recognition. So we're going to do it on this event Tuesday night. So put it on your calendar. Hopefully you've gotten the flyers for it, and join us because it's going to be a party. And so wear your best beads. Okay. So everybody join us then, and it's been a pleasure to have you all tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you, and thank everyone.